Common misconceptions that stop you from experiencing healthy relationships. I have been coaching people about relationships, love, manifestation for a very long time. And in my experience, I have figured out some common misconceptions, some common society beliefs that we have that actually stop us from experiencing healthy relationships. And I thought that it would be best if I make a video explaining all these so that when you actually go through these and you check if you have any of these and correct them, you would be able to experience better, healthier, and stronger relationships with your partner, with your specific person, with anyone that you are wanting to be in a relationship with. The reason why this is important is because manifestation is not just about getting what you want, it is also about maintaining it. So, for any one of you who is manifesting a specific person, who is manifesting love, who is manifesting a relationship, it is also very important that you learn how to make it work. Also, because the version of you who is in that relationship and is able to be happy in it probably already has worked on these things, and that is why they are able to maintain that relationship, they are able to be happy in it, and they are able to be in an enjoyable experience with it. So let's understand these one by one. So the first common misconception in any healthy relationship, or that can stop you from being in a healthy relationship, is you get as much as you give. Now, when you are under the confinements of a relationship, this belief can be true. Let's understand our definitions of things, right? So, when I say give, different people can have different definitions of that. And this is especially true for people who are trying to manifest a relationship at this moment, who are not into that relationship yet and who are trying to manifest that relationship. Or this is for you if you are in a situationship with your partner where you don't want to be in that, or you are in a friends with benefit situation with your partner where you don't want to be in that. You want to be in a full-fledged committed relationship, but they are not at this moment offering that. At this moment, you are constantly giving in hopes that this will turn into a full-fledged relationship. So first, as I mentioned, it's important to understand what our definitions of things are. So what do you mean by giving? Giving in itself means coming from a place of love. Giving means offering someone something that you have a lot of. Giving in itself, especially when it comes to relationships, means offering that other person the love, the care, the feeling of feeling prioritized, the feeling of feeling chosen that you want to give. The feeling of giving in a relationship should come from love and confidence. But unfortunately, a lot of times, what we are calling giving is just a different name for self sacrifice. Now, is sacrifice important in a relationship? Yes. But if the sacrifice is based on your self respect, your self worth, your dignity, and your wants, that is not a sacrifice. That is you demeaning yourself. That is you actually doing the opposite of giving. You are taking something away from yourself and the relationship. I know this is slightly confusing, so let's understand this with the help of an example. Let's say I am in a situationship with a girl. Let's call her Mia. Let's say me and Mia are in a situationship. I am really, really looking forward for it to turn into a serious relationship. But Mia at this moment is not. Mia just wants to be in a friends with benefits dynamic with me. So, in my attempt to try to woo Mia, or in my attempt to try to convince Mia to be in a relationship with me, I tell myself that I'm going to give her love. But under the pretense of saying that I will give her love, what I am doing is I'm constantly self sabotaging and I'm constantly sacrificing. So I show up wherever she wants me to. I try to become the person that she wants me to. I have no personal identity of my own. I don't actually create any boundaries. I don't want to be in a friends with benefits situation, but because I feel that this is the only way that I can get close to her, I keep on doing that. Under my attempt to do that, there is also a hidden part of me that feels if I show her how much I love her, she's probably at some point going to recognize that she loves me too, and she's going to feel that she needs to commit to me. All this while, the real reason why I'm doing this is because number one, I don't feel that if I walk away, Mia will come to me. Number two, I feel that the only way to get what I want is to sacrifice my own needs. When I'm constantly doing these actions, Mia is actually not learning how much I love her. Mia is actually learning how much I dislike myself. Mia is learning through my actions that I will sabotage and sacrifice my own needs, my own wants, and she should do the same. When Mia rejects me, it shouldn't come across as a surprise because I reject myself. Of course, we feel bad about it. We don't like it. We don't want it to happen. But it will happen because that is the nature of life. That is the nature of the world. That is how manifestation will eventually work. The world will always reflect back to me who I am. And if I am someone who will constantly sacrifice myself to just fit into other people's perspectives and needs, other people will also constantly sacrifice me. The solution to that is to not give her more. The solution to that is to give myself more. The solution to that is to honor my needs. The solution to that is to tell myself that if I want a full relationship, I will not settle for anything lesser than that. And to make sure that my words and my boundaries match. Doing that will actually make sure that Mia and other women around me do the same. So, in my relationships moving forward, I will experience healthier relationships. Because if a relationship is just based on me constantly sacrificing and the other person not doing that, it's not really going to work because the compromise in a relationship has to come from both ends. I first need to have a better relationship with myself in order for me to have a better relationship with Mia in this situation. And unless and until that happens, it's never really going to turn into something serious. The second misconception that we have that stops us from experiencing healthy relationships is that my partner should just know. I cannot even count how many people I have helped and worked with, how many clients come to me with these statements. Karan, the reason my relationship didn't work out is because he didn't love me enough. And then I asked them, why didn't he love you enough? Because you're right now trying to manifest this person back. So there must be a reason. And they tell me that, oh, it's because he didn't call me these many times, he didn't do this, and this, and he didn't do this, and this, right? And I asked them, did you ever tell him that you wanted this? And they say, no, he should just know. Because if he loved me enough, he would know. Now, this right here is a very, very big reason why a lot of relationships end and why we regret it later. So you have to recognize a few things. When you're getting into a relationship with a person, you're not just getting into a relationship with a person. You're getting into a relationship with their beliefs about themselves, their beliefs about relationships, their past, their communication style, their anxiety style, their attachment styles, their way of handling conflict, their way of handling situations. A combination of all of these things is a person that you're getting into a relationship with. It's not just going to be exactly like yours, which means that it is going to be a learning curve. It is going to be a learning curve from their end and towards your end, and also from your end towards them. Now, a lot of times we come from this assumption that if the other person just loved me, they would know. But that's not always going to be true. Because what they might assume is a sign of affection might not be a sign of affection according to you. Now, I will help you understand this with the help of an example. The other day, I was talking to one of my clients. She is manifesting love in general, and she went out on a date with this guy that she really, really liked. Now, after the date, as she came back, she told me that Karan, I loved the date, but I didn't like this one thing. And I asked her, what is that thing? And she said that he didn't bring me flowers at the start of the date. And I asked her, okay, does he know you like flowers? And she said, oh, no, but he should know if he actually likes me. Do you see how this is a big misconception? Of course, the other person might like flowers too, and he might bring it for you if he knows. And in some situations, he can assume. But what if his way of showing attention and affection was to actually show up on time, to pay the bill, and to actually treat you nicely? What if in his mind, flowers are just a very shallow way to show love? This doesn't mean that you cannot have a different definition. Now, what if this client of mine was not really aware that she is doing all these things, or let's say she didn't have me to guide her through this? What she will do is she will create an assumption that he doesn't like me because he didn't bring flowers, which might not be a true belief to have, but because she will hold this belief true in her mind for a prolonged period of time, at some point it will become true. And at some point, she will also start acting from this assumption that he doesn't like me. Do you know where that would lead? Into the relationship not working out. So, they should just know is a belief that actually doesn't work. And communication is important exactly for that reason. The third misconception that stops you from experiencing healthy relationships is that if I am in a healthy relationship, I will never fight my partner. This is the biggest belief that actually hinders a lot of people. There are some things that are inevitable in every relationship. One of them is that at some point you guys will fight, and that is completely fine. Because you fighting is not the concern. The way you fight and the way you repair is. If you are fighting and then you are actually pushing the problem under the rug, saying that, oh, what's the point of even talking about this? And you are constantly ignoring it, that's just going to make sure that the problem increases further. When you are sweeping the problem under the rug, where do you think it is going? It is going into your mind. You are holding those beliefs and these unsolved mysteries in your mind. What is going to happen after a few months and a few weeks when you're going to face a similar problem? You're going to push it under the rug again, because that is the habit that you're building. And it will keep on creating similar fights till one day all of these fights will come out at some point. All of this malice and hatred will come out at some point, and all of this resentment will cause this relationship to end. Another big reason why we struggle with this is because we assume that if I was in a healthy relationship, I wouldn't fight my partner at all, which in itself is really a very negative belief to carry, because you are two human beings who are different. Isn't it obvious that at some point you will have some disagreements? Isn't it obvious that there will be some point of views that will be different from you and different by them? Isn't it obvious that at some point one of you will make a mistake that the other person will not like and you guys will fight about that? It is absolutely going to happen. When it comes, invite it. Tell yourself that this is an invitation for me to actually show up in this fight as the new version of me, and to make sure that this fight results into resolution rather than a constant fight towards it and a constant disagreement where we are not trying to solve the problem. That would really help you experience healthier relationships. So I hope that these tips help you experience healthier relationships and manifest healthier relationships. If you feel that you have any tips that other people can help and get help from, comment down below. Tell what you think are the things that are misconceptions that people hold and that is stopping them from getting healthier relationships. And I will see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you liked the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.